Today we're going to show you guys how to build your own drain field. Have I ever done this before? Well, one other time. Do I know it works? Well, the other place I did it at several years ago, it hasn't had any issues since. It's been like over 5 years. The new cost of a drain field is like $12K, especially for this here. For the cost of what I'm doing here, well, it was like 35 bucks for this. Found this on Facebook for like 10 bucks or 15 bucks. The bags of pea pebbles is probably like 30 bucks. Some PVC, these suckers, I don't know, they were probably like 15 bucks each. 2-inch pipe and a 4-incher. Yeah, this is probably gonna be around $150 in just random PVC parts and a drum and some PVC pipe. What you're gonna need, besides the pipe that you see, is you're gonna need obviously a shovel. You're gonna have to dig a really deep hole. A drill, you don't have to have a drill, but I'm going to use one. You can use a screwdriver, and you're gonna need a Sawzall. The blade that I'm gonna use this one's not long enough. I should have a longer one, but I'll make this one work. I'm using a 10 TPI. The higher the TPI, it's usually for metal. The lower the TPI is usually for wood. So you want to shoot for like a 10 to 14. If you go to something like 16 to 22 or even more, that's basically going to melt your plastic and burn your blade. Go too low, well, it will just tug a bunch on the pipe and have a terrible cut. Kind of see here, this has been going on a bit for this property. Sludge and poop everywhere. We're going to get this cleaned out. I'm going to try to get somewhere around this vicinity. That way we can leach in. I'm just going to cut the pipe, and then I'm going to use some rubber boots to get a pipe together, put a T on the end of it, and run it to, I don't know, maybe 5-10 foot out, and then fill in a hole full of pea gravel so it can drain properly in a rain barrel. But the septic tank is over there, so it runs all the way through this. It's just a problem with the drain field, or at least like the pitch of the pipe, so we'll show you how that works. Pipe, I'm probably going to, I'll probably put it right here, because the further down you go, the deeper you have to dig, because we're going to have to dig the pipe or the little rain barrel over here, and it's going to need to go at a slope, so that way the water drains down. So if you go down and it's already 3 foot down over there, well, then you got to start from 3 foot and then dig down another additional 5 foot. So like, I would rather dig a 6 foot hole instead of an 8 foot hole, if that makes any sense. But yeah, we'll go ahead and start digging, and I'll show you guys progress as we go. All right, so here's the pipe cut. Got a bunch of grease and garbage in here, but we're gonna get the inside of the pipe cleaned out. You can kind of see the chunks in there. Use the snake and grab it out, but it looks like this kind of has a little bit of a belly. Maybe it's from that tree, I don't know, but the pipe lines up with it. But we'll get this cleaned out and get the attachment on, and we'll get the little barrel hooked up. Basically just gonna take the end of this. I'll show it to you what you guys look like. It's pretty disgusting, but yeah, there's like this white stuff. It's not even, you can see it. There it is. See the grease junk? There's a lot of detergent and a lot of garbage in this. So that's kind of what's causing a lot of this. But there's some backflow in this pipe that's not helping at all. But putting this in, that's definitely gonna help a lot. And that's gonna get rid of some of the water. I'm going to put the pipe in this direction. So instead of it flowing this way where it can choose to go in either direction, I'm gonna have it going back this way. That way the only backflow that we're gonna get is just from water that's sitting on the top. I don't wanna fill that drum up with poop. I want the septic tank to be filled up with poop, and mainly this with water. I'm gonna drill a bunch of holes in that. That's also one of the things that wasn't shown on there, but you need a drill bit, preferably like, I don't know, like a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and you're just gonna drill the mess out of that thing. The holes in the barrel, got a big 2-inch, a little bit bigger than a 2-inch to stick the pipe through. It's a rough hole, but we just had the door hole and it needed to be a tad bit bigger. This really deep, So we're gonna put pea gravel at the bottom of this, finish out dredging this out, and then connect the two pipes. We're gonna put a clean out somewhere here. Probably gonna put it up here. And then we're just gonna connect it to the barrel and cover it back up. Pea gravel at the bottom so it has proper drainage. Then you can drop the barrel in, and then you'll put pea gravel all around the sides so that way it can drain through. Sealed up over here. We got seal here. I went ahead and went from a 3-inch to a 2-inch because the goal is not to get poop in there. The goal is to get water in there as drainage. Also, I have, as you can see here, the pipe is actually flipped the opposite direction. The reason for that is because I don't want the water running down here and then choosing that as an exit, or at least the poop. So I want the poop to go down, and when it fills up from the belly, it will just cause it to drain and run out that way. Because this is kind of like the path of least resistance. The current clean out is up here, but you can see here the clean out is actually higher than this. So this will actually be the path of least resistance. The water will drain down there and do its thing. Again, there's another way to do it, which is simply you just do the drain field, which is like $12,000, $13,000, or you can do something like this for 200 bucks, call it, and maybe like a couple hours of time digging and just shooting in the barrel. Anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and get some dirt under this, and I will connect the barrel, and we're good to go. I do want to mention a couple of things. So make sure you don't over tighten these. I blew out one of them, or two of the Allen clamps. Make sure you don't over tighten those unless you want to run back to the Home Depot, go to the store and get some. I actually had some custom ones. So these basically are as big as you want, and you just cut it to size and then you pop it in. That's what I did with this one. But normally, yeah, you just have to run to Home Depot and get that part. But I used some wet or dry, or rain and shine, or wet or dry. That's just the cement, that's what it's called. But yeah, this is sealed up, put together. You don't really have to have a super intense glue because this is drain pipe, so it's not gonna be pressurized. And that's also why we had the boot, because this is literally just a drain pipe. And also notice how I didn't have it sloped a bunch this way. It's because the goal is to get the majority of the water to run that way, and this is just kind of like as a backup if it backfills and overflows. We are finished. So I ended up going into the side just to give it a little more of a pitch, and so I don't have to put in this turn, just have a goofy turn in it. Would rather not have that. So I went ahead and put it into the side of the pipe. I put the clean out over here, just basically level to the ground, just enough to be able to come and look and see what's going on. And then that's already all filled up. So I'm just gonna cover this up and boom, we're done, guys. That's how you do the drain field. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one.